Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Welcome to Primetime Local News. There's a breaking news story from earlier this afternoon. Primetime Local News was first on the scene, and we'll go right to Abby St. John with more.
Thanks, Josh. Well, one man is dead in Lloydminster near the Village Green Mall, and RCMP are investigating. Around 1:30 p.m. this afternoon, RCMP surrounded the corner of 52nd Avenue and 39th Street. Police were seen by a dumpster behind the Village Green Mall. The RCMP have confirmed there was a sudden death and have moved a body from the scene for further investigation. We will have more information for you when it becomes available. Anthrax has been confirmed in southeast Saskatchewan. The Ministry of Agriculture says anthrax was responsible for the sudden death of 7 animals in the municipality of Golden West. Bison, cattle, sheep, goats, and horses can become infected by eating food contaminated with anthrax spores, which can survive for decades in the soil. Producers are encouraged to vaccinate their livestock against the disease, especially in areas with previous outbreaks. If you suspect an animal has died from anthrax, contact your local vet immediately. School is almost back in session, and earlier today, the Lloydminster Public School Division held their opening ceremony with each member of their staff to celebrate the new school year. Our Jasmine King has more.
The OPSD staff gathered at the Vic Juba Theatre where they held a presentation and had speeches about the upcoming school year.
Every year at the start of the school year, we take an opportunity to have all of our staff come together. Approximately 500 people, bus drivers, maintenance workers, support staff in schools, teachers, division office administration, board members, and we all come together and kick off just what's going to be another great year in Lloyd Public, and lots of energy and fun, and something that we've done on a traditional basis over the years in our organization.
One thing new to LPSD this year is an inclusive education consultant who met with teachers and administrations about what types of different education there is for different students.
I think what inclusive education is really evolving to is, not necessarily just including kids who are different, but how do you teach to difference? Because, you don't need me to tell you that it's more than just kids with disabilities who need support in our classrooms. And so it's really, helping schools and helping classrooms and teachers to say, how do we teach to a diverse classroom that includes disability, but also includes all of the things that make us diverse?
Shelley, who had bad experiences when she was a student, wants to make sure students feel included and safe when they're at school.
I really struggled, and it wasn't a great story, which is kind of, what encouraged me to kind of dig into this a little bit more, and it's turned into this kind of lifelong research project that I didn't anticipate would last this long. But it's really thinking about the me's out there and the kids that struggled in school and saying how can we make this better for them.
Jasmine King, Primetime Local News.
Celebrating 40 years in style is exactly what Designer's Choice did by holding a barbecue where they announced the winner of their Ugly Kitchen contest. For 40 years, Designer's Choice has been renovating homes in and around Lloydminster. They decided to put on a barbecue as a way to say thank you to their supporters and builders.
I mean, it's huge, especially in a small town like this with this economy like this. Really goes to show what kind of company we are and what kind of people we are here and what kind of community we have that supports us over 40 years. We have builders that have been with us for 30 years and they're at the barbecue today, so it's really nice seeing those faces here. A part of their celebrations, they held an Ugly Kitchen contest where the winner received a $20,000 kitchen renovation package. However, according to Spence, they were looking at more than just an ugly kitchen. Not only were they out of date, they weren't functioning well, so that was one of the criteria that we were looking at when we were judging them, was how well did these kitchens actually function. So beyond being ugly, they also just aren't practical for a family to live in. Only winning by 4 points, Sue Bygrove, through the support of friends, was the lucky winner and will be able to renovate her 21-year-old kitchen.
I had a lot of great support from the Facebook friends that we have, and a lot of friends in town, local people, helped out. They came in, dropped votes off. Everybody was so supportive. To add to the excitement of the celebrations, Designer's Choice has been nominated for Small Business of the Year.
Border City Furniture continued an annual tradition this morning by hosting a charity barbecue for Lloydminster Sexual Assault Services. The funds raised will primarily go towards supporting the center's public education programming.
We go into different schools, different communities, teach awareness, teach education on things like healthy relationships, boundaries and consent, anger management, and also any of the programs that we host in-house at the center.
The event highlights how much support the center has received from the community for the past 3 years.
They do this just out of their support for the community, their support for the Lloydminster Sexual Assault Services.
For more information on Lloydminster Sexual Assault Services programming, go to lloydminstersexualassault.com. Now we're going to Eric Bay, who was on location earlier today.
Once again, we are back here at the Service Sports Center, and we're talking goalies and goalie coaching more specifically. And Stephen Larry joins you now with Net Science Goaltending. So first off, can you tell us a little bit about your process and what you guys do here with your school?
Hey, so I'm Stephen Larry from Net Science Goaltending. At the school here, we try to do our very best to get the kids to be able to add layers to their game, not be able to completely overhaul them all at once, but at the same time give them tools that they can use to succeed from novice age goaltenders all the way to bantam, midget, and then as they graduate into professional level. So.
And now you've been doing this for yourself about 3 years, so what kind of got you into coaching? Want to share your knowledge with the next up-and-coming goalies?
Well, I always loved coaching. I started out working with my cousin's teams and just kind of going through the season like that. And then once I graduated high school, I started to think about what I could do for a living, and this has been an absolute dream come true.
And now, what do you kind of do, or what's the importance, I guess I should say, of breaking it down, taking goalies back to the basics and letting them build up those fundamentals?
Like I said, it's all about adding layers. Going to be able to start from the beginning and give them tools that's going to help them the best for when they're an Adam and Pee Wee goaltender, and then from there, seeing where they're at and just being able to add tools, yeah.
All right, thank you for this. We're going to have some more from back here again, continue to speak with Net Science Goaltending about their process. But before we do get to that, we're going to throw it back into the studio.
Thank you, Eric. Well, we were only 13 degrees for the daytime high here in Lloydminster. That is actually the coolest day that we have seen since about June 7 and 8. Still 13 degrees at the airport right now, and mostly cloudy skies through the city. Winds right now out of the east at 5 kilometers an hour. Records from today, 33 and 1 degree from 1996 and 1992. Looking at some of the temperatures across the broadcast region, so 20 in Isle Lacrosse, 19 in Green Lake and Meadow Lake, 17 in St. Walburg, 15 in Maidstone right now, 17 Macklin, 19 Provost, 12 in Wainwright, 13 Vermilion, 15 Marwayne, 16 St. Paul, 17 Bonnyville, and 18 in Pearceland. So some of the sky conditions, some areas seeing some showers, especially to our southeast near North Battleford right now. That will continue through the early part of this evening, and some breaks in the clouds as you move up north towards Cold Lake. Overnight tonight should see some breaks in the clouds as well, and morning lows are close to 5 degrees for the morning, and temperatures for tomorrow in Lloydminster should start the day at 7, making it up to 16 degrees for the daytime high, 60% chance of showers, winds light out of the southeast. 8 degrees on Sunday morning, 17 degrees for the afternoon, 40% chance of showers. We start to get a wind out of the east, so an east wind tends to bring in a lot of cloud cover and showers. It won't rain all day on Sunday, but chance of a shower may be late in the day towards the evening hours. Monday, there is a 70% chance of some rain. We get a north wind that day, and daytime highs only reaching 13.
Welcome back. Well, cool, wet weather has put Saskatchewan's harvest well behind where it usually is this time of year. Saskatchewan Agriculture says about 6% of the crop is in. That's down from the 5-year average of 16%. Harvest progress is most advanced in the southern regions, where 12% of the crop is now combined. In the northwest, less than 1% of the crop is in the bin. Producers expect harvest operations to be in full swing as the crop mature in the coming weeks. And the federal government is spending nearly $700,000 to support young farmers. Agriculture Minister Marie-Claude Bibeau says the money will train young farmers in business skills as well how in increasing the profitability of their operations. As well, Canada's Outstanding Young Farmers program will get more than $100,000 towards their 3-day national negotiation event. Farmers between 18 and 39 are nominated based on how their farm has solved environmental issues and shown best practices on management, safety, and public trust. And now we're going to take a look at your egg prices.
We're a part of less than 5% of Canadian auto body shops and Lloydminster's only locations with certified collision care recognition at City Centre Auto Body.
With the recent sudden retirement of NFL star quarterback Andrew Luck, the question is raised, are more people quitting football because of injuries? Our Evan Kenny reports.
And I'm in pain. I'm still in pain.
Andrew Luck is the latest victim of sports injuries. The former #1 draft pick retired this past weekend at just the ripe age of 29. Luck claims this is due to ongoing injuries throughout his career.
The only way I see out is to no longer play football. It's taken my joy of this game away.
The announcement came only months after former New England Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski, also 29 years old, announced his retirement.
Football was bringing me down, and I didn't like it. And I was losing that joy in life, like the joy.
This raises the question, are young players experiencing the same effects? Holy Rosary head coach Vince Oreo said this isn't quite the case.
Not seeing too many kids dropping out with injuries in high school football or high school sports in general. We're smart about it, or smarter about it now than we used to be.
High school teams are putting in the extra mile to keep kids in the game.
We do a lot of weight training, so kids are bigger and stronger. So that's good injury prevention. We talk a lot about nutrition and balance with getting lots of sleep and rest. And if kids get banged up, they see a good doctor right away and they get fixed up. And we're not seeing kids walk away from it.
Heads, knees, and shoulders are the most common injuries in football. Football is seeing these problems and working towards fixing them.
We teach safe tackling all the time, and our minor football guys are doing it. High schools across the province are doing it, and I think you're seeing a reduction in the number of head injuries for sure.
This has been my personal journey in football, obviously, and everybody's journey is different.
Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
Over the past week,
This week, the Lakeland College Volleyball program ran its annual camp. The camp ran Monday to Thursday in preparation for kids heading back to their school or club teams. The women's team ran drills and even jumped in having fun with the kids. During the day, ages 11 to 14 took the court, and at night, ages 15 to 18 mastered their craft. The camp focused on teaching fundamental skills to the players and growing the sport in the community.
When I came here, we didn't have any camps or anything running in Lloyd, and so I started all that stuff when I came, and so that's been really exciting for me to see things grow, putting the time and the work into trying to grow the game a little bit in the area.
Players got in-game experiences, and for the older group, got to test out the world of beach volleyball. Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here at the Service Sports Center today talking about net science goaltending, and Clay Radish and Merrick McNeil join me now. And now, Clay, this is your second year coaching, so can you tell us a little bit about what you do here and what kind of made you want to join and start coaching?
Well, I've kind of started coaching when Stephen was down a couple instructors, and he asked me if I wanted to come out and coach, and I really enjoyed it the first couple times I've come out. So I've started to come back, and I've done probably 3 or 4 camps here, and
No, perfect, for sure. And now, Merrick, yourself, this is your first year coaching. So can you tell us a little bit about why you want to join and help out coaching?
Well, I've been a student with Steven for a long time, and I did a camp with him, and he thought I did really good, and he just asked me, and of course I'm going to want to come out and coach.
No, for sure, definitely. Any way to get back on the ice. And now, can you tell us a little bit about what you do, teach the kids here in the camps?
Oh, we teach pretty much all the newest styles of goaltending, all the little details of skating, shifting into pucks, watching it with your eyes.
All right, and now Clay, yourself here as well. Like you said, we've been coaching for 2 years. So can you talk about maybe the importance, as again, you were a student as well, the importance of getting out here, breaking it down to those fundamentals as well?
Well, it's just kind of like you said, breaking it down into the basics for these younger kids who don't quite understand, because some of the moves are a little bit more technical. So it's breaking it down into the easy parts of it so that it's easier to learn, I guess.
Right, for sure. And now yourself, Merrick, we've talked a little bit too. If you could say one thing, I know being a student yourself as well, one thing that you'd say to kids that, definitely have to come out here and learn a little bit to improve their skills, what would that be?
Oh, well, Steven, he's probably the only coach around here, but he's really hard on kids. Probably shouldn't be saying that, but he's a good coach, and he will make you better. It's all just putting in the work, and Steven's really good at doing that.
Exactly, all about that improvement. Well, thank you guys both for doing this. We're going to have some more from back here, continue to talk about goalies as we get into hockey season. But before we get to that, we're going to head back into the studio.
Thank you, Eric. So we have the Labor Day long weekend upon us, the unofficial end to summer, and it is going to feel like fall as we head throughout the weekend, though it does feel like we never even saw summer with the weather that we saw these past few months. But temperatures outside right now, 13 in Edmonton, 20 in Red Deer, 13 in Edson, and 18 degrees in Jasper right now, 16 in Saskatoon, and 18 in Prince Albert. So we have a low that is off of the west coast right now. That is going to move south of us. The warm front is actually going to remain to our south, so it's not going to move up and over the region, so we won't get any warming from this system. We're going to be stuck in an easterly flow as we head through your Sunday and Monday. Eventually, we're going to see winds come in out of the north. So when we get a north wind, that's a pretty big sign that the fall season is coming, because during the summertime, we normally don't get a very strong easterly flow or northerly flow. That mainly comes as we head towards the fall. Some lift taking place, though, along the warm front in the form of showers as we head throughout this evening, and some clear skies as you move well north, as there is some high pressure in the region. So satellite radar map, you can see all of that shower activity moving in. That is along that front edge of the warm front, moving towards the east, so North Battleford and areas near Maidstone, south of Lloydminster, a pretty good chance of some showers as we head throughout the evening tonight. And as that continues to move in from the west, overnight tonight should just see some breaks in the clouds and a 60% chance of showers for tomorrow in Lloydminster. 40% chance on Sunday, but there is a 70% chance of showers on your Monday. Temperatures tomorrow, 19 in Provost and Macklin, 15 Wainwright, 16 Vermilion, 18 Marwayne, 16 St. Paul, 18 in Bonnyville, 18 Pierceland, 18 Maidstone, 17 St. Walburg, 19 Meadow Lake, 19 Green Lake, and 19 in Isle of La Crosse. So looking at North Battleford right now, 15 degrees, 7 degrees tonight, and a 40% chance of showers. 19 degrees for tomorrow, winds out of the southeast, 60% chance of showers. Cold Lake right now, 19, 8 degrees tonight, 18 degrees for the high tomorrow, and a mix of sun and cloud. Lloydminster, 13 right now, 7 degrees overnight, and 16 degrees for tomorrow, 60% chance of showers. We get into that easterly flow for Sunday. Daytime highs only reaching 17, 40% chance of showers. 70% chance of light rain on Monday. We get a north wind coming in, so that is going to keep temperatures on the cool side. It's not a northwesterly flow either. It switches directly to the north after being easterly for Sunday. Only 13 Monday. We should warm to 22 for Tuesday, 23 for Wednesday. We get a south wind coming in, 19 Thursday, and 20 on Friday.
Once again, we are back here at the Service Sports Center, and today we've been taking a look as hockey season is quickly approaching at some of the tips and techniques that the goalies are learning here today at Net Science Goaltending. And Malachi and Sam join me now. And now, Malachi, you guys have mentioned you guys are 5-year veterans of the program. So can you talk a little bit about what you guys do learn here at Net Science Goaltending?
Well, we learn a lot about our technique, and I've been trying to work on a couple different ones, like post leg up, my RVH use, and all that kind of stuff like that.
All right, perfect. And now, Sam, yourself, again, we've mentioned 5 years here. So can you talk maybe about any improvement that you have seen in your game here as you do get this more one-on-one attentive focus on goaltending training?
I just gotten a lot better at skating, stopping the puck, keeping the puck out of the net, puck handling, just all around.
And now, Malachi, for yourself here, I know we mentioned 5 years you've been doing this. So what kind of made you learn about this and want to try it out for sure to kind of help your goaltending?
Well, when I started out, I wasn't like too good, so I was like, okay, if I want to do this, I got to work hard, and yeah, I just had to get into some camps and try and make the team that I wanted to make, and yeah.
And now, how does this kind of, the one-on-one focus, it's all goaltending here at practice, you might not get more of that focus with your team. How does that kind of help, to get that, constant repetitive training with your team here?
Well, I think it just helps like, I guess, technique, because sometimes during practice you can't really get all the information you need from coaches, like, in general, so you might need a goalie-specific coach to help you.
All right, and now, Sam, real quick here before we wrap up, if there's one thing you could say to people, maybe thinking about this, how this program has kind of helped you getting this one-on-one training, what would you say that would be?
It's helped me work harder and just become a better goalie and want to be a better goalie.
All right, thank you guys both for doing this. We're going to have some more from back here at the Service Sports Center talking goalie training, but before we get to that, we are going to head back into the studio.
Well, the school season is just around the corner. This is the last official day of non-school time for kids. Obviously, the first official day of school isn't until Tuesday, so you have the rest of the weekend to be a summer holiday. But our question, which is, what is the last summer activity to do this week? Maybe some people are doing it this weekend, and a couple of people chiming in certainly agree with that. Marilyn says a wedding, and another Marilyn as well saying going on vacation for a couple of days out to the beach. So pretty good way to finish off your summer season.
Yeah, exactly. Even just spending time with your family is always fun. Going camping, doing just different activities, because you really, once school starts, it gets pretty serious, and you really only have the weekends because you have after school activities and all that kind of stuff. So this is really the last chance for kids to really enjoy their last few days of freedom before they have to go back to school officially.
Even something like the ability to sleep in past noon.
Yes.
I mean, maybe that's extreme, but really that ability to sleep in is gone right away.
Oh yeah, exactly. I remember having to, even days before school, I had to go to bed early because my mom wanted us to get into a better sleep routine instead of, the last day having to go to bed, because that would never work.
Yeah, I wonder how many people shared that routine. Probably a decent number. I don't think these pets would adapt well to a specific get up at a certain time routine. Too Bad is coming on Friday, but there's a Wednesday, and that's submitted by Donna.
Oh, nice. A little Addams Family reference. Love it. Gorgeous cat.
Next up here, Murph.
Oh, what a beautiful dog. Love the little patches in his face and down his body. That is so adorable.
Almost a calico dog. Oscar, who's looking a little epic out to the horizon.
These gorgeous pets. I love the colors in the fur with the white and orange, with the subtle orange in there. Very adorable.
Bentley, who that should make you happy. He's wearing a bib of some kind.
Yes, and has the fluffiest ears. So cute.
And lastly, Pancake. A little less fluff on this one.
But still cute, and I love the name. Just adorable.
And don't forget, you need to submit the name and the picture to win a free gift card, which will be decided at the end of this cast.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Welcome back to Primetime Local News. In studio with us, of course, is Vince Oreo, the head coach of the Holy Rosary Raiders, as well as the principal at Holy Rosary Catholic School. Busy week for you guys. I'm sure you've had enough things to deal with just on the classroom side and making sure all the technology is ready to go, all the paperwork and logistics are out of the way, and you've got a game this weekend that is a pretty big one.
Yeah, it's been a hectic week, but it's been exciting, and teachers are back and prepping for kids to come back to school. And on the football side of things, we're going into week 2 of our season. We had a game last week, and we're going into week 2, and things are rolling along.
Yeah, and obviously, so you guys get a couple of games in before you have to go into your league games, which is earlier than normal that you end up playing the Lloydminster Barons. How important is it to make sure you're playing against good competition heading into that matchup?
Yeah, it's important. We try to schedule our exhibition games against top quality opponents, teams that are consistently in provincial play. This year we have 2 Tier 2 schools. We played St. Joe's out of Grand Prairie last week, and we're playing Medicine Hat tonight. So just that tempo and the speed and the physicality will get us ready for our season, and especially this year, more important. We're playing Lloyd Comp early in the season, so we have to be prepared. Are you excited that you get to have that matchup, all the people out to enjoy, and the weather hopefully will be a little better? Or would you do you normally kind of like to have it down the road so you can scout a little better for it? We're pretty confident we know what they have. They've got probably the best quarterback, running back tandem in the province, and we're prepared for that. It's a little early. I'd like to see them a little bit before we play them, but on the other hand, there's so much hype and build up for that game. It's nice to get it out of the way early so we can play them and then move on and focus on the rest of our season. Fair enough. And you guys certainly lost some key pieces from last year, Dante Tabaku, for example, at the quarterback position. Who are you going to have to rely on in terms of veteran leadership this year? We've got a veteran receiving corps, and they're working really well with their younger guys, and we've got some inexperienced, not young so much, but inexperienced guys in some of the key spots. But they've shown a lot of growth in the week and a half of practice, and it's going to be by committee, but definitely our receiving corps is where our leadership is. And of course, on defense, what would be a Holy Rosary defense without one of the Hippie brothers playing with the defense as well? How important will the Hippies be? Because you still have 2 of them on the roster this year. Yeah, actually, they're both on the offensive side of the ball. Oh, they're both offensive specialists. Chevy's a receiver and does a great job on special teams. And Cash is an offensive lineman, specialty offensive lineman, but he can platoon a little bit on D-line if we need him. But they just come with a different attitude. Those kids are just football players. My paradigm has completely been shifted now. You don't have an official defensive player named Hippie. No, but maybe what Chopper did for us, that'll live on for another 10 years. So we'll live with that. Okay, I'm sure it will. Again, obviously, you have the main matchup coming with this week. Once you get it out of the way, does that kind of at least set you up to now really grow the rest of the season? Because as you said, you have some inexperienced players at a couple of key positions. But if you get the really tough, big, hyped matchup out of the way, you can kind of focus on development a lot of the rest of the season? Yeah, a lot of learning can come from it. So, win or lose, a lot of learning can come from playing tough competition early on. We can see where we have some weaknesses, where we need to, strengthen a few things. So I'm excited about it. 3 tough games in 3 weeks. I think our kids will be well seasoned heading into the regular season and hopefully in the playoffs. And because you have a couple of key positions that are new, does that mean you have to really focus in on being even more dominant than normal on the defensive side of the ball, or do you think you'll still be able to score with other teams? We were able to move the ball last week pretty good, and I'm hoping we can do the same thing tonight. But you have to be balanced. You can't just rely on a defense. You're not going to win many games 10-0 or 10-7. You have to put points on the board. So we like our group, and we're moving in the right direction for sure. And one quick question before we finish. Anything you'd like to say about the rest of Holy Rosary Athletics? Obviously, there's a number of really key grade 12 athletes and a couple of the volleyball basketball teams this year. Anything that we should be look forward to in particular? Well, the seasons are getting underway. I think I signed about 25 bus forms and stuff for volleyball kicking off here right away, and our cross country and our senior golf's going to get going. It's just great to watch kids, high school kids, student athletes get involved. So if you get a chance to come out and watch volleyball tournaments or some cross-country running, our golfers out there, even some high school football, you won't be disappointed. The kids give it everything they've got, and it's enjoyable.
Yeah, and if you were at the Wheatland League Championship last year, that proves your point, because no one, other than, of course, Holy Rosary fans, were disappointed by that result.
Hey, it's Justin Marshall from Cool 101.3 in Bonnyville and Boom 95.3 here in Cold Lake. And here's what's happening around the Lakeland. Well, coming up on Friday and Saturday, it's the first annual Feast at the Beach. Cold Lake Chamber putting it on. MJ's Mini Donuts in behind me. One of the many food trucks at the event. Ryan from the Chamber joins me. Tons of food trucks, eh?
Yeah, so MJ is serving up awesome mini donuts and some assorted burgers and things. We have all of our local ones, and then we have some coming from Edmonton as well. And they're going to be serving up some gourmet hot dogs and poutine and Argentinian food. So there's a bunch of different cuisines. You know, come on down, try as many as you can. They're all going to be awesome. Yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
You can get more information on the event, boom953.ca. And Ryan, the best part about it, it is FREE.
It is, yeah. So it's free admission. We wanted it open to anyone who can make it down here. You know, set up your chairs, set up your blankets, enjoy the music, enjoy the food, hang out, you know, celebrate the last weekend of summer.
And the best part, too, parking sucks down here in the area. So you were actually busing everybody from the Energy Center.
Yeah, so we did arrange, sponsored by Cold Lake Bus Lines. They're going to be running a shuttle every 30 minutes from the Energy Center parking lot to the beach here, just to help alleviate some of those parking. So if that's something that people are interested in, park at the Energy Center. There'll be lots of signage there, and then come on down.
Ryan, I can't wait for this event. Friday and Saturday. Appreciate your time, man.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, 2 p.m. to 10 on Friday, and 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturday.
And if you have an event you would like to feature on what's happening, shoot me an email, jmarshall@stingray.com.
We are here with registered social worker Marla Rouser from Care Counseling to talk all about stress coming up with school. A lot of students are coming up. Welcome, by the way, Marla.
Thank you.
Awesome to have you here. So let's talk about school. Obviously, a lot of students are going back right now. Summer's over, but there's a lot of stress for not only the kids, but the parents as well, too. But why do you think that is?
Well, I think for young adults that are going into college, say right after high school, they've got the stress of getting good grades and getting the marks that they need, so they're worried about that even going in. They're worried about financial issues. Do I have enough money to finish school, get into the programs I want to get into? So they're thinking about this. Maybe they're out on their own for the first time.
Yeah. And there's so much going on because school should be a fun place. You know, a lot of things happen. You're going to see your friends and stuff like that. But I think there's a lot that happens prior. You know, there's bullying. There's a lot of different things that kids go through that affect them in terms of coming back to school. But what are some of the things that they can do to kind of combat that? Obviously for parents as well too, but let's start with kids going back to school.
Sure.
What can they do? You call them stress busters, obviously, but what can they do to kind of relieve that and get a better start to the school?
Well, I think it's the same stressors for young kids and teens too, where there is a pressure, whether it's an internal pressure or an external pressure, where they're feeling they do need to get good grades and that, and they're also thinking about bullying. Maybe they've been bullied in the previous year. And so some of the things that I recommend to parents is that you have an open line of communication with your children and allow them to talk to you about how they're feeling, and don't disqualify their thoughts. Oh, you shouldn't be thinking that and feeling that. Instead, really listen and validate what a child is thinking and feeling in regards to some of the issues that they're thinking about, I guess.
And maybe even preparation. I think a lot of kids are scrambling in the morning, just like parents are. Is there something that they should do, maybe even a morning ritual or even a nighttime prep to kind of get them going, right?
Oh, definitely. Organization is key. So I think working together as a family and planning, the snacks and the food and the lunches and talking about the different events that they've got going on. A lot of kids are really busy. It's busy families with a lot of activities, and those activities start again when school starts. So it's just getting into the rhythm of being busy.
Busy, which
Yes,
is a good thing, right?
busy.
And they'll get busy anyway because they're going to be doing a lot of schoolwork and
That's
stuff
right.
like that. So when we're talking about stress, I know the government is doing a couple of things right now to kind of gear up towards helping kids with mental health issues and those kinds of things coming back to school. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, does that have a lot to do with it in terms of, you know, there's different types of kids that go to school, obviously, right? There's some that need it more and some that don't. What are your thoughts on that and how to combat that kind of thing? Do they need psychologists and do they need to go before they go to school?
I think that it's a good idea if parents have the barometer of what's going on with their kids. They're checking in with their kids regularly. You know, how are you feeling about going back to school? Is there anything that happened, you know, in the last term that might be coming up for you again? Maybe they're worried about being bullied, like I said again, or maybe they're feeling pressured to do well. And so if parents are checking in with their children like that, then that's a good opportunity before school starts to make those connections, whether with an adult that they trust or a counselor, wellness coordinator, that sort of thing.
Awesome. And if people wanted to bring their kids to you and kind of thing, if they needed this, where would they go? Care counseling, where are you located?
Well, my building is in the same building as the Sticks Pool Hall and McElhaney Surveys and Reeves College. So that's where I'm located. And
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there's so much we could talk about, I'm sure, but thank you for being here.
You're welcome.